All right, ladies and gents, welcome back. It is Tuesday, the 17th of August, 2021. Coming in hot with another red day, sporting the red shirt as always. Spy another red day as well, too. This is funny to mention that the past two previous pre-markets, we've seen a pretty nice sell-off, which is pretty consistent down moves in these last 2 days, so I don't really know what that means. We obviously saw a 0.6% down day today, nowhere near the end of the world. Again, Spy still chugga choo-chooing all the way to infinity and beyond. Absolutely ludicrous. So market internals on the day, still pretty low dollar volume across the board. NASDAQ, that. NYSE, that. OTC's pretty nice at 2.5 billion. But that's it for the housekeeping. For my trades today, just really two tickers that I was going after hard, LMFA and PBTS. Just got chopped around really on both, and thought we were going to get some continuation out of those two after seeing what happened yesterday with some of the bigger percentage movers on the day. VRPX certainly was awesome, but I was nowhere near that at the time. LMFA had this move, obviously, from yesterday. I think the specific news was they had earnings, I think. Net income of 11.1 million, blah, 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 different forms coming out. So pretty decent news. It's also a low float of 5.2 million. Former runner, I believe, as well. Yeah, especially coming from these days. So it has the potential, especially you can see around here too. That was what I was looking for today. On a type of dip and rip setup, it wasn't looking the greatest in this pre-market, but certainly was going to give it a chance if any shorts were stupid enough to climb into this thing. Holy $5.20. So initially I was getting scalped around, thinking this was the dip and rip here, and thinking it was just going to be a choppy break to the upside. Thinking, okay, we're getting pull back to VWAP here. This could be it. Obviously, it touched above VWAP and then just quickly sold off, rejected. And that's what everybody else was trading off of at that point. Then we fell precisely to $5.20. And this thing continued to support at $5.20. Never broke the bid at $5.20. So it's at that point that I'm thinking, okay, great. I'm establishing a position around here at this point. You know, we get a little bit sketched out, but it always consistently holds at $5.20. And then the longer it goes on, you're in this sensation of kind of like, okay, great, it's holding $5.20, but it's also not going any higher. We're consistently hitting $5.20. It's got to go one way or the other at some point. So eventually we get this weird move. I set a stop right at like 519, thinking if it dumps, it's just going to take everybody out as well too. And I probably would have gotten filled terribly having my stop there. Having a market order at that point, I would have gotten so bad filled, taking so much slippage on that. So then we get to this candle here, and we get some pretty nice spike upwards, breaking this relative high here, 5.3. And I'm thinking, great, okay, the move is at least coming a little bit back to VWAP. Whether or not we crack VWAP and make new high a day, that's just a different story. But at this point in time, the trend is up. It hasn't died yet. But then as it's still printing here, it's printing below 520. Even though I didn't even see it on time and sales, it was probably just a misprint or algo or something so quick because it didn't hit my stop either. So that was just a little bit weird to see. And as we're holding here, held for a few seconds, pretty decent amount of time, and then all of a sudden just slammed underneath 520, took out everybody here. Not a lot of huge volume at that point, but then immediately gets bought right back up again. And I screwing myself out of this whole thing, just getting, I wasn't so emotionally involved in or charged by any of those losses, but it was just so choppy and emotional that, okay, now we're immediately back to the upside, breaking this even candle high, still chopping around. Now this candle's touching back closer to that 520 low. Oh, this candle's now trying for VWAP, but then it gets rejected. Still charging around here. This is a little bit more of a sell-off. We get a reclaim closer back to VWAP, and then just that was the nail in the coffin. That final attempt, this doji, that failed to continue to support above VWAP price. It was just done for the rest of the day. Basing here, you could have traded off of, but it's whatever. A lot of these, I'm just totally thinking, man, it just seems a lot easier to go short on so many of these in the morning and just hold on because that's where the probability of most of these tickers are trading at. But you can get kind of screwed out like VRPX. I'll show a little bit later that did the exact opposite. PBTS, this was a runner a few trading days ago. I forget the news it had back then. That was last week, Thursday. something about expanding its blockchain business, entering cryptocurrency, trying to hit some buzzwords there. Held pretty well on that day, but sold off the next few trading days. And then Monday was obviously just a nothing this day. News today, they entered a strategic partnership with Crypto Digital Holdings to acquire Bitcoin and Ethereum miners. Pretty awesome news at 9:12 Eastern Time. Again, this is a 7.9 million float, reported short interest of 15%. So could be a little bit sketchy, but of course, what real weight do we throw on reported short interest? Former runner, has the capability, opportunity with volume to go potentially. Of course, we're in the summer months. It's not a crazy market, but still could go. And that was really what it did today. This, as I pulled this chart up again at the end of the day, it just looks like one of those fireworks you get and you're so excited and pumped up, and it looks like, firecracker of the end of the world, and you spend like $100 on it, and then you just light it, and then it goes and it does nothing. And that's what this felt like today, just how primed and ready this looked here of holding these pre-market levels. It wasn't the most insane percentage move up in the pre-market, but holding well and with decent volume compared to, I think I only had two, I literally had two tickers on my mover scanner this morning for big percentage movers with volume. It was PBTS and LMFA. But it was holding well, and it looked ready and primed to go, and it did go up a little bit, and then just died the whole rest of the day. Such a disappointment. So I was scalping around a little bit. I was scaling in, showing off my trades. I was scaling in quite a bit here in the pre-market, especially establishing a position as it was cracking the high of day, getting in a little bit more. Kind of set like a stop for half of my position size. If it just wanted to quickly dump off and reject, then at least I would have some profits, but still be comfortable to hold the rest of the position if it did want to spike or go a little bit crazy in the morning session or even in the afternoon session. I was willing to risk as well too. So not so totally degenerate of just trying to scalp and take a degenerate trade that way, but still protecting myself a little bit. Got in another position as it was holding well and failed to break VWAP. Price action kept rising. We were breaking the pre-market highs. We were looking good, and then I just set a stop right above my entry once again and said, okay, if she dies, she dies. And it totally died. And that was the last move the rest of the day. Just wasn't in the cards for PBTS today. But VRPX, man, what a mover. Bryce Tui had a great recap video in this one for small cap recaps. He was trying to swing this ticker from a few days ago and ended up cutting, must have been this Monday here, I guess. News came out that they received FDA response and guidance on whatever. This company, again, super low float of 2 million. It's a biotech American. No reported short interest I see. But pretty decent consolidation move in the pre-market. Kind of forming a little V pattern here as well, you can see. And then just ramped into the morning bell. Pretty insane with volume coming in. I'm kicking myself now looking back on this one just to realize, hey, this was a former runner. This has some recognition from other traders as well too. When they see this thing pop up, it's going to be, hey, I remember this ticker. It's a super low float. And I think this was also a chat pump as well too, which I didn't know beforehand. I wasn't even willing to trade at this point because I knew it would just be chasing totally. I think Tui was entering around here and he was scaling out at this point. And, there's so many opportunities on this one looking back in the day of saying, okay, around this time frame, you get the nice morning peak and then a little bit pullback under VWAP, but now nice base being put in and scaling into a position anywhere around here under VWAP, or even if you want to chase it a little bit, you can sell into that new high a day. And plenty more room left on the table for even this afternoon session before the real afternoon session. But it's the risk reward and the probability of that trade actually turning out the way it did. A 265% update today is just pretty ludicrous and still going berserk in the after hours here. I didn't even see that as of till right now, but just good to see. And hopefully this sparks some more movers around the market, or even like Tui said as well too, sparks if the biotechs just want to start running for some reason, that VRPX is the igniter like SPI was to the healthcare sector back a while ago. But good to see it. Shoulda, coulda, woulda traded it, but I'm not here to chase it. And yeah, the probability of all these different little, so many different 10% trading blocks that you could have absolutely profited off of and may or may not have thrown a decent amount of size on them, but This is the first one in a super long time that we've seen do this. So who is it for anybody to throw those things in there? Hope that's not being picked up on the mic. I'll get this over with quick though. NAOV, former runner again, putting in some decent percentage days here the last few trading days in this just weird choppy uptrend. Last trading day, again holding a rising VWAP, holding that level decently well, a little bit of sell-off into the market open, looking like a great short with these first two red candles, especially I was just under VWAP with a little bit of decent strength, and then just completely reversed up to the upside and scared out or panicked out everybody that was trying to get short off of that move, thinking this was going to be a nice red day. And they said, no, not today. And then you get a spike all the way to 420. Blaze it. Choppiness all the way around here, and then just fading, dying the whole rest of the day. That was a pretty hard sell-off here at that point for some reason. And just other quick tickers I wanted to go over. FLGC. This one's been not completely dying or panicking off, but today was a pretty hard red day. It looks like it was going to have a little test here, a little bit of a green potential opportunity in the pre-market, but just soul redness and die. Shoulda, coulda, woulda got short on all of these, and even playing. It's kind of stupid to think, but yeah, even just playing the long fade kind of is a productive strategy, especially was today. I don't know if it's the market is just continuing to evolve at this point, even in this month, but that's how it was today at least. HPIL was an OTC one. I know a few people had this from overnight. Looked great on an overnight, takeout today. Looking at where it closed today, we got the technical level from this point. We're in this kind of cuppish uptrend, at least here on this side. This was a great overnight opportunity. After hours, we got a few prints actually at 118, so that was looking to be a good gap up, but then eventually just pure selling right away after the morning bell, and no real opportunity or no real huge profit win for anybody that was overnighting this from a close play yesterday's trading day at least. MDGS, looked at this one as a morning dump opportunity, but of course haven't seen a lot even work out or even pop up at least. So was identifying it and saw it, okay, this could be, this full move here is less than 10%, I think. It just wasn't, of course it's not the most awesome percentage move, but the move is still there. That's beyond 10% move. If you're getting short the crack of VWAP entry point, even before market hours, that's pretty legit. So sad to see that I gave that one up. I could have definitely got to short that one, but I didn't. And then BON, last one I want to mention too. Similar thing, not the most lucrative morning dump, but you get a little bit of spike here. Just kind of consolidation. And the probability that this thing goes to the upside is still there as well. This one was, I don't even see a float on this one. I don't have anything on this one. That's how sketchy it is. The news catalyst was of their earnings. They announced a record first half revenue and net income. Woohoo! Who cares? I think Tui said this was a chat pump as well too, but the fade and the downside was there on this one as well. Just, it is what it is. So that's all I had today. $25 down day. Not anything ludicrous or crazy at all. Really has no effect whatsoever. Again, the P&L really doesn't matter. I just want to focus more on this market is making me a better trader in the fact of, okay, you have to now establish, you have to be wanting to trade the trade, and you can't just get lucky and just wake up randomly and see something that's up and just push the button at any point and then be profitable because everybody else is profitable. All these things are moving hundreds of %, and that's what I fell into in the 2020 area. But this is certainly forcing me to say, okay, I identify the trade here. I'm going to wait for a potential entry point. If I don't get it, then I'm willing to just let it go. Or it makes me watch them harder in a sense too, that I can't just say, oh, okay, this looks good. Well, I'll just turn away for a few seconds and then I can come back later, just still buy it when the move is actually going to happen. You got to plan things so much more and better in all of these. So I'm excited. I'm keeping that red streak alive, baby. That's what they're out there to do, is to get you emotional, to get you to the point of quitting, and I'm nowhere near that point as of yet. I'm still excited, ready to go for each and every new day, whatever opportunities are presented. So I thank you guys for watching. I will catch you guys on the next one.